So this is an Ace Jubilee Viceroy. Just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. On the front of the van you've got the hitch, jockey wheel and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. In the front locker you have your gas bottle with your gas pipe work going to the regulator up the top there. You've got a reverse thread fitment that goes into the bottle itself, and you've got your on-off gas valve for the gas in the front locker. Just make sure that's always turned off before you travel. Down the side of the van you've got your water pump connection, which very simply pushes into the side of the van. You pull back the blue trigger to release it and pull the blue trigger back to push it into the side of the van. The pickup pipe itself drops down inside the aqua. I'll show you how to fill the system once we go inside the van. You've then got your heating and hot water flue cover here, which you need to remove prior to igniting anything on gas inside the caravan, and that is essentially to be removed every time before use. You've then got your wind down leg on either side of the van at the front. This is there for stabilising the caravan, not lifting the caravan. If you lift the caravan with these, it can potentially damage the floor of the van. You've then got your battery locker with your battery in there, quick release terminals on top of the battery, your range to the side of the van itself, and we'll demonstrate the motor meter power switch to you while you're here on site. The wheel nuts will torque again while you're on site and demonstrate the mover, so you can see everything is working correctly and so you can see the wheel nuts have been tightened to the correct setting. The fresh water that goes in the front of the caravan has to come out somewhere, and this is for your sinks and your shower on board the van. So essentially you have two bits of grey pipe that will push into the larger circles on the outside here, and they'll drop down inside your waste master. At the top of the van you have your toilet flush tank, so I'll open this up with a key and you'll put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of pink fluid ready to use. You've then got your toilet waste locker, which you open up. The toilet waste locker very simply removed with the orange handle. The neck here turns out so you can tip the waste away, and the grey cap is a measure for your pink and blue fluid. You've then got your orange pressure relief button on the back of the cassette, so when you tip the waste away it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. Before you use, you'll need to put 1 litre of water in there and a cap full of the blue fluid. Coming around to the rear of the van, again you've got your wind down legs, and as I said at the front, they are just there for stabilising, not lifting the van. On the door side of the caravan you have your fridge vents, which are simply there to allow hot air out the back of the fridge unit and to take some cool air in, and behind the top one there's also a gas flue for when you're running the fridge on gas. At the front of the van you've got your last wind down leg to stabilise the caravan. Inside the caravan now, and hopefully you can hear me a little bit better. I do apologise about the wind on the outside, but I haven't got anywhere else to do the video today. So just as you come in the door, you've got the main control panel for the caravan. You'll notice here in the top left hand corner, it's got a red light on, which is indicating to me we've got power coming into the van. Right hand side at the top, you've got your voltmeter, so you press the button here and it'll tell you what the voltage is of the battery on board the caravan. When you're towing down the road, you'll need to press the car button just here to get the fridge to work as a cool box and to charge the battery on board the caravan. When you're on site, you'll need to use the onboard leisure battery just here, so you'll press the button and it'll allow the onboard leisure battery to turn on. On the right hand side here, you've got your water pump run, which I'll come back to in a moment. First thing we're going to do is, before we do anything else, is fill the water system up. So the caravan's already set up on the outside, as you've seen. We need to open all the taps up on the hot side of the water system. So here we go, hot side of the water system. Same in the bathroom, on the shower and the sink. Open all the taps up on the hot side, and the same just there. We're then going to go underneath the seat on the front right hand side of the caravan. Underneath that seat you will see what we call a drain down valve. Now the drain down valve is going to be a little bit harder to see on this van. However, just down behind that blue wiring there is a yellow valve. That yellow valve is your drain down valve for the caravan. When that yellow valve is parallel with the floor, you'll be able to fill the water system up. When that valve is upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat, it will drain all of the water out of the system on board the van. So like I said, parallel with the floor to fill, and upright to drain the van down. You may ask why you drain the water system down. The reason being is over the winter, for instance, when it's cold outside, the system on board the van could potentially freeze. So after every use of the caravan, we advise you drain it down so it doesn't freeze the system up. and also if it freezes up, it could potentially crack the onboard water tank here at the front and all of the pipe work associated with the water system. So once that valve is in the parallel with the floor position and all the taps are open, we can come over to the control panel, but by the door again, and we can press the water pump button. At that point, water will start drawing up from the aqua roll. And as you can see, I've already filled the system up, so the water's come out of the tap pretty quickly here. However, normally it takes about 5-10 minutes or so just to bleed the system. Once you've got water running continuously out of every tap on board the caravan, you can shut each tap off. To start with, when it is filling up, it's going to spit and splatter a bit like your water system at home when the water has been turned off. So again, we'll turn the shower tap off as well. At that point, we can start thinking about warming the water on board the van. So down in the cupboard down here, we should have... Oh, one cupboard. Down in the under-seat storage on the right-hand side of the van, you'll find you have 3 switches and your master fuse blocks. You'll find your space heater main power switch for your heating system, which you can leave on at all times, the same as the battery charger. However, in the centre here, you have your electric water heater. So when you want the water system to warm up on electric, you'll need to turn this switch on, and that will allow the water system to warm up. However, when you're showering on board the caravan, the electric water heater won't boost to allow the water to warm up. It is just a preset temperature of 35 to 40 degrees that it will warm the water up to. However, it won't warm it quickly like when you're having a shower at home. So on the wall up here, you've got the option to run gas. Now you can run the gas obviously if you're off grid where you haven't got a mains power source coming into the van, so you can't run the electric system. However, you'd also use this for the boost for the shower. To ignite the gas system, you'd make sure the gas bottle's turned on in the front locker. You'd ignite the hob first to get some gas through to the hob itself, and then you turn this grey dial round on the outside to the flame symbol. You'll then get a green light appear behind here, and if it ignites, that green light will stay permanently on without any other lights. However, in a moment, we're more than likely going to get a red light appear in here, which is the fail light. The reason for that is that the gas is currently turned off in the front locker. If that green light stays on, there we go, there's the red light. That red light means it has failed to ignite. However, if you want to use the water on gas, like I said, the green light is on, then you can control the water temperature on the gas between 30 and 70 degrees. And if you're going to shower on board the van, I'd advise you either set it at 50, 55, 60, etc. Just so that it is above the temperature of the electric water heater, so it warms up and boosts quickly. You can turn the gas supply off to the water heater by spinning the dial round on the outside and putting the little tab on the side here back to the off position. Next to that, you have your control for your electric heating. Now, below the seat, I said to you about the electric heating, the space heater switch. You can leave that on all times, as I said. However, this is the control for turning the heating on itself. Now, down the side here, you've got 500, 1000 and 2000. What that relates to is the amount of watts from the caravan site you are on. So, for instance, if we're on a site with 500 watts available, you can select the 500 down the side here. And once you've selected that, you can then control the temperature of the heater on the dial in the centre between 1 and 9. Obviously, the higher you go, the hotter the heater will be. If you ask the site office when you arrive on site, they'll advise of which, when you arrive on your holiday destination, site office, should I say. If you would ask what heating supply, what power source, what amount of power you can run your heating and hot water on, they will advise you correctly. To turn the heating off, you go back to the off position in the centre here. On top of the heater, you've got the option to run gas, should you wish to. You've got a dial here that you can spin round between 10 and 9. You hold down the gas valve, and it will self-ignite. In the window down the front, you will have your pilot light for the heating system itself. Once the thermocouple is warmed up, you'll slowly release the gas valve, and you'll be able to control the temperature of the heater on the dial on top. You'd hold that valve down for 5 to 10 seconds after it has ignited. On the opposite side here, you have a system like you have in your car for your blown air heating. So for instance, it works a bit like the fans on your car. The dot on top here is for the fan speed. The dot in the centre here indicates the heat is going to come out the front of the heater. The wave symbol on the left hand side here indicates continuous blown air, so essentially the heating then will come out the vents around the caravan. However, you can also have that on during the summer to keep the van a little bit cooler. Like I said, the dot in the centre is out the front, and the A on the right hand side is ambient temperature, or automatic blown air, sorry. So essentially it'll cut in and out with the thermostat on board the caravan, whether that be gas or mains power. The fridge, again, is very simple to use. You've got your power button on the front of the fridge, so you can turn the fridge on. Now on the front of the fridge control panel here, you'll have 3 options you can select. Now let me just try and let this clear up a little bit before I start changing. There we go. So at the moment it's trying to ignite on gas. Now it will actually fail to ignite at the moment just due to the fact that the gas is turned off. So if it failed to ignite, you'd have a blue light here that actually flashes to let you know it has failed. And that is essentially your pilot light when it is solid blue. Press the button on the left hand side and you can go over to mains 240, so when you've got power on the site you're on, you can use the 240 main supply. If you're towing down the road, this is where the button above the door becomes important, because you'd need to select the car mode, or next to the door, sorry. You need to select the car mode, or the battery mode, the car mode on the control panel on the door, then select your 12 volt battery on here. And that will allow the fridge to work as a cool box as you're travelling down the road. Again, if that is working, the blue light here will be completely solid. On mains or gas, you can control the temperature of the fridge on the button on the right hand side. Microwave, hob and grill. The microwave works very much like your household appliance, no difference at all there. The electric ring on the back of the hob will work on your 240 main supply as long as you've got 240 connected. The gas will work as long as the gas will work off the bottle in the front. The same as the hob, grill and oven will they'll all work off the gas supply. I do apologise. I'm getting a bit confused there. Going into the washroom, the last thing we go through is the toilet system. We've got an electric flush on the toilet that allows you to flush your toilet. A red indicator light that will appear here to let you know when the toilet waste cassette is full. The toilet seat, as you can see, does turn for your convenience. However, when you're removing the cassette from underneath the caravan, you need to make sure this toilet is actually pointing straight back across the van. Also, down below you have a grey waste handle. So the grey waste handle down here is actually to allow the toilet waste into the cassette under the van. You would open this flap up to allow the waste into the cassette and shut it back off when you're finished using the loo. If that grey flap is open, again, it will not allow you to remove the cassette from under the van because it will lock the cassette in place. So this is the Ace Jubilee Viceroy. If you have any further questions on the van, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company and we'd be more than happy to help. We appreciate the business and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon when you collect your caravan. Thank you for now. Bye bye.